Hello everybody, welcome to the season finale here at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. I hope everyone is doing well. We're just waiting to load into a one-shot quali session here. And then we will get proceedings underway for tonight. Here we go. Hello Craig, nice to see you in the stream. Good luck in your qualifying, sir. And here we go. I think we might have already had someone ready up early. So I believe we are underway for one-shot quali. We did have someone ready up there. But I believe we are carrying on as normal. So we'll ride on board with Cookie for his one-shot quali lap. Goes purple through Sector 1 in the Red Bull. Everyone, of course, on the soft tyres. During this session, it's going to be a dry session tonight. Of course, Abu Dhabi being in the deserts, you'd expect that to happen. And we see Jamie Dwyer and Cloud already out of this one. Cookie at the moment sending it through turns 6 and 7. Crucial to get a fast exit out of that as you go onto the long back straight. Winds its way up to the new reprofiled turn 9. Last couple of years, we've seen this corner provide many an overtaking opportunity. Cookie going purple through Sector 2 as well. And he's in fact gone off there. And Cookie invalidates, and that will be the end of his lap. So in fact, it's going to be Centrix currently leading the way in quali. Coming through the final corner, get foot down on the power as quick as possible, up to the line. Centrix on pole by 0.6 of a second. Fantastic lap time by the reserve in the AlphaTauri. In fact, AlphaTauri getting a 1-2 there in qualifying as well. Both drivers being reserves for tonight. So fantastic work from the team there. 0.6 seconds between Centrix on pole and Payouts Kings' teammate alongside him on the front row. You can just see how much the AlphaTauri drivers sent it during that lap. It's a risky strategy. In a one-shot quali, we're doing a sprint race setup for this weekend. And looking down the rest of the grid there, you can see some of our title protagonists suffering slightly in that session. Luxury all the way down in P12 at the moment. He is yet to win this season, and despite being second in the championship. But the big story there, Cookie disqualified from the session. He extended track limits a little bit too much in that qualifying session, and it has cost him. He will be starting right towards the back of the grid as we now load in to our feature race session. 10 laps of the Yas Marina circuit, and plenty of points on offer here. 10 points for the win, as well as then points all the way down to 10th place. We've already seen 2 points given out tonight. Those go to Centrix for securing the pole position. And that will certainly help him out in his battle for 10th place in the standings here tonight. He's now only 4 points behind Craig Conley in the McLaren, who's on 96. Centrix getting those extra 2, taking him to 92 points already. But of course, plenty of points still to play for here tonight. 39 potentially on offer in total. 25 points for the win in the feature race, 10 points for the win in the sprint, and then 2 fastest lap points as well. While we wait for the drivers to pick their setup and strategies for this feature race, let's take you through the grid quickly. So as you saw, it was a front row lockout for the AlphaTauris. Centrix taking pole from Payox Kings, with Ultra Titan and JG making up the second row. Those two very close to each other in the drivers' standings as well. They're battling currently over third place. Then we have Snowy's, one of the Williams drivers, the lead Williams in fact, on the third row in 5th place, with the lead McLaren of, the lead Ferrari of Mallard in 6th. Craig Conley gets 7th, with Billy and Penguin in 8th, Arrow 9th, and Nutomatic rounding out the top 10. Then you have the second Red Bull of Halo in 11th, with Luxury. Bit of an off session for him there in qualifying, all the way down in 12th place even. And then Michael Louis 13th, Jamie Dwyer 14th, Cloud 15th, and then our 3 drivers who did not set a time in that session: Godzilla 16th, Ollie 17th, and our champion Cookie in last. It's worth noting this season that we have only had 4 drivers secure pole positions here this season. Cookie with 13 pole positions over the season, Luxury with 2, Centrix now bagging his second pole of the season, and Cloud with 1. Similarly, we've only had 5 race winners. We are here in round 19. Only 5 race winners as we wait for the 5 red lights. And we are underway in the sprint race here in Abu Dhabi. It's a good getaway for Centrix. He leads them through turn 1 with his teammate Kings following through. Further back, lots of drivers going side by side. There's a battle over 3rd place between Titan and Gordon there. But looking further back, we've got more moves as Snowies goes up the inside of JG into the turn 5 hairpin. He's also going to try and get Ultra Titan. A little bit of wheel banging. You can see him lose the rear end coming out of turn 5. So far, the big loser is Ollie. You can see him on the minimap all the way down in 18th. There's been some contact for him potentially, but this is the battle to watch at the moment. Battle for 3rd place. Ultra Titan wheel banging with Payox Kings. He's going to try and go up the inside of the AlphaTauri. Isn't quite room for it there, and now he's going to come under pressure from JG and Snowies on the back straight on the run up to turn 9. No DRS yet enabled. This is purely setup and battery as JG sends it up the inside of Snowy's. Little bit of contact and JG does come off worse there. He loses the position down to 5th place. So that's a position lost there for the Mercedes. Further back, it looks like we've had some contact for Arrow, who has spun round there. The Ferrari now at the back of the grid, and having to try and regain it and see if he's lost any front wing. It doesn't appear that he has, so hopefully the Ferrari will be able to continue. But crossing the line at the end of the first lap, Centrix, our reserve in the AlphaTauri, leads the way by almost a second from Ultra Titan. Further back, Cookie is already up into P10. Look how many positions he's gained already, up 8 places on that first lap. And similarly, P2 in the championship, Luxury up 4 places. Now the ones to watch, Cookie making his way up into 9th place, his 9th position gained of this race, as well as we see single file all the way down the back straight. Is anyone going to think about a move into the corner? Luxury's thinking of it. He goes up the inside of Billy and Penguin. Move's not done yet. He's still there, but Luxury does eventually get it done and gets himself up into 7th place. And now Billy and Penguin in the Haas, as we look over the rear wing of Luxury, will have Cookie bearing down his neck sooner rather than later. Change back to the, let's go for the penalties tab for the time being. See if anyone picks up a penalty. Cookie sends one up the inside of Billy and Penguin. Little bit of contact there into turn 12, but the Red Bull gets the move done, and seemingly without causing too much damage to his or his fellow driver's race, He's now going to chase down Luxury in the Williams out the front. Centrix as we start lap 3. DRS now enabled. And Centrix leading the way at the moment. Cookie setting the fastest lap there on that second lap of 1:24.4. Going side by side with Luxury, who had a bad exit out of turn 1. The two drivers are title protagonists on this season, going side by side, and Cookie getting the position. And now getting up the inside of Luxury as well. But I think we saw his red light flashing there, so he may not have much battery left and could come under pressure from the Williams heading down the back straight now. Down on the run towards turn 6. Will Luxury be able to make the move back on the Red Bull? No, he's going to stay behind for the time being. And this is really the battle to watch as we see Mallard have a poor exit out of turn 7 and Cookie is going to sail around the outside. Luxury thinking about making it 3 wide here on the run down to turn 9. Can Luxury go around the outside of Cookie? He's going to try it. The two drivers going side by side. Luxury does have to back out and Cookie slams the door shut on exit, but both guys making up a position, getting past the Ferrari of Mallard, who's seemingly struggling a little bit there for traction out of turn 7, and now coming under pressure from Billy and Penguin as well. Further forward, Ultra Titans still occupying second place, but Payouts Kings, the AlphaTauri, right behind him there in third place. That'll be a battle that will go on all race long, and Centrix trying to break the 1 second window, making sure Ultra Titan won't benefit from the DRS on him. And as we come up to the detection point right there, he is out of 1 second, but Payouts Kings is well within it. And I'm sure we'll see a move sooner rather than later. You can also see Cookie in the background all over the back of the Mercedes of JG. Currently sitting in third in our driver's standings. Here's Payouts Kings thinking of the move on Ultra Titan, but backs out for the time being. Further back, we're going side by side as Snowies and JG jostle for position. It's going to be all about the exit out of turn 7, and Cookie has absolutely nailed it. You can see there Payouts Kings thinking about a move ahead as well. He goes around the outside of Ultra Titan, gets the move done, but further back we're going 3 wide. Cookie side by side with the Mercedes of JG, gets move done round the outside. It's a move he's made twice now in this race, and he does it very successfully as we see Snowies out of the session. He's lost the rear. There is a safety car out. He loses the rear on the exit of turn 9 by the looks of it, and has lost a wheel on his car, and that's going to bunch everybody up. Will we see anybody coming into the pit lane here? Let's wait and see with the leaders. We're right on board with Cloud. He opts to stay out. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some pit stops, maybe from the guys at the back of the grid. And you can see there JG coming into the pits. So one of the actual front runners there, strapping on a set of softs. No front wing change for him. We'll see if there's any other moves from other drivers down the grid. You see Halo strapping on the set of softs, Nutomatic. Front wing change for the Haas, so he was involved in some contact. We've also got Arrow in the pits for a set of softs. So the back 6 drivers all putting on soft tyres. As we see Halo exiting the pits, he'll rejoin in 13th place. Halo is one of a number of drivers here tonight battling over that 10th place position. He is currently sat in 13th in the standings, but just 12 points behind Craig Conley, who currently occupies that 10th place position both in the standings and in tonight's race. And of course after this race we have the main feature race, 50%, 29 laps of this Yas Marina circuit. And now everybody queuing up behind safety car. I expect one more lap of the safety car here. And it just gives us a little chance for a breather. Look at the positions gained there. And of course, our champion of this season, Cookie, has made up the most positions. 14 places on Cookie. He started right at the back, P18 on the grid. He's made his way all the way up to 4th. And I am absolutely certain he will be rubbing his hands together at the prospect of a feature race win here tonight. Elsewhere, we've also seen big moves from Luxury, recovering from what was a pretty poor qualifying from the Williams driver to get himself all the way up into 6th. Cloud was another one of the drivers who didn't set a lap in qualifying, and he is up into 7th. 8 positions gained for him. Also worth a shout for Codzilla and Ollie, making up 7 and 6 places respectively. Those guys having a very strong race so far. You see riding on board with Ollie at the moment. He has his teammate JG just behind him in the queue on soft tyres, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a bit of team play here and the Mercedes drivers swapping position as the safety car comes in. Ahead of them, we also have the 2 McLarens, Craig Conley, who will be a big focus of tonight's stream, I'm sure, as he looks to defend a top 10 finish in this season's standings. It's going to be pretty difficult to do at the moment, given the man in 11th is Centrix, currently leading this race and getting 10 points at the moment. Worth noting, Cookie is currently the man who is set to pick up 2 points for the fastest lap. Jump to the front now as we see safety car in this lap. It will move away from the pack and accelerate away into the pit lane. There it goes, that beautiful green Aston Martin safety car here at Abu Dhabi tonight. Centrix now though in the AlphaTauri gets to control the pace. Payox Kings behind him in 2nd place, ahead of Ultra Titan in 3rd, and our title winner Cookie in 4th. Centrix controls the pace and he's going at a pretty big pace at the moment. You can see the safety car on the minimap hasn't got anywhere near the pit lane yet. It's still on screen there, so Centrix going at a quick pace as the safety car now comes in. He will control the pace of when to put his foot down. And we'll see what sort of restart he gets coming up to the final corner. Now he puts his foot down and away goes the AlphaTauri out the final corner. It's a good restart. We've got Luxury in the pit lane there. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen making a pit stop early on there. Been some contact behind the safety car, I believe, for him. But Centrix has the dream restart, half a second ahead of his teammates already as he leads the way. But behind them, Cookie thinking about making a move up the inside of Ultra Titan. And is he going to get Payox Kings as well? There's contact between them. Wheel banging, we go 3 wide down the straight now. No DRS active just yet. This is purely battery and straight line speed of the cars. You see Payox Kings has backed out of that one, but they're still 2 wide. Cookie and Ultra Titan into turn 7. Cookie on the outside, which will turn to the inside for the next part of the corner, and he gets the move done. That's the Red Bull up into 2nd place, and now he'll look to chase down Centrix for the win here in the sprint race. Behind them, Payox Kings and Ultra Titan jostling over 3rd place. Kings going all the way around the outside here at turn 9. Will he get the move done? They're still side by side through 10 and now 11, and Kings eventually getting that move done and gets himself back up into the final podium position. Further back, Cloud moved up a couple of places there. He's up into 5th place in this one, but coming under pressure from behind is F1 Mallard. He's got the Hassabillion Penguin behind him, and behind that JG making quick progress. He's up the inside of Codzilla, squeezes him out on the exit, but gets his Mercedes up into 8th place. That's 3 points currently going to JG as he tries to battle with Ultra Titan for 3rd in the drivers' standings. And now back at the front, we see Ultra Titan sending it down the inside of Payox Kings. They're still side by side on exit, and he has to duck back into the slipstream of the AlphaTauri as they head down the straight, but Cloud is right behind them as well. And here comes the Aston Martin going up the inside. Are we going to go 3 wide here into turn 6? We saw how that ended yesterday, but thankfully things kept a little cleaner here. Going side by side still, Cloud and Payox Kings on the exit, and Cloud losing out now. Ultra Titan gets back through, back up into 4th place. We're going to potentially go 3 wide again, but Cloud has to back out of it And Payots Kings holds on to third place for the time being. At the front though, during that action, we've missed that one. Cookie up into the lead of the race. Centrix down to second. And can the AlphaTauri hang on to the back of the Red Bull for the rest of this race? Cookie losing the rear end as they come out from under the hotel. Massive snap of oversteer, but he manages to hold it just about. And DRS now enabled as we enter the penultimate lap of this race, but Cookie with a huge moment there. And really great car control from the Red Bull driver to keep that one out of the barrier on the exit of turn 14, where we saw Nicholas Latifi crash back in 2021, and we all know what happened after that. We don't need to explain that any further. But now the battle's going on. JG has caught up to this group. Oh, Cloud spins. There's contact between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin, and the Aston Martin comes off worse. Cloud dropping down to 11th place. Meanwhile, JG's going to try and get two moves done in one here as he sends it up the inside. He gets Payots Kings. Can he get the traction on exit? He can. Can he now get Ultra Titan as well on the run down the next straight towards turn 9? We've seen moves so many times already in this race down into turn 9. The new banked corner. We're going to look at the helicopter shot, but JG gets that move done simply. And the Mercedes, who took the gamble behind the safety car to go onto softs, gets himself up into third place now. Meanwhile, his teammate is dropping further and further back. Ollie down in 14th at the moment in this little pack, squabbling with Cloud over P11. No points on offer for these guys at the moment, but there is pride at stake as always. You see 2 penalties currently being given out to Ollie and Nutomatic for track limits. Centrix, meanwhile, has got himself back up into the lead of this race. Cookie down to second. And now jostling over position as we head down towards turn 5. Centrix cuts off the move from the Red Bull driver, who will now have DRS down the first DRS straight behind them. JG is not far away. He's within a second as well. And does he have the DRS open? I don't think he does, as we see Cookie go flying past the AlphaTauri there with the DRS wide open behind them. JG did not have DRS down that straight, but I believe he will this time around, and Centrix needed a good exit there, but he lost the rear end out of the corner, and I think that might be game, set and match for this one here. We're on the last lap, and Cookie easily defending down that straight. He's almost broken a second away from Centrix already, who loses the rear end a little bit. Will he come under pressure now from JG for the rest of this lap? Those soft tyres, much fresher condition than the mediums, and of course much quicker. Will we see a late move potentially for second place here? It'll be Cookie who wins the sprint race as long as he keeps it clean for the rest of it. JG, will he make a move into the final corner? He's going to send it up the inside. Can he get the move done? He will on the run to the line. And Cookie wins it from JG from 0.2 of a second. Centrix crossing the line in third, with Ultra Titan fourth, Payots Kings in fifth. Further back, we got drama out the final corner. Nutomatic's retired. Craig Connolly has... no, it's Godzilla who has spun it there. Drama at the back of the grid. Nutomatic out. Godzilla has spun it. I don't know who that was contact off of, but the McLaren dropping right to the back there. Oh, he's not happy about that one. Destroying his front wing as well in the process of turning round. And yeah, the McLaren losing so much time there at the end. And it drops him all the way to 16th. Not sure what happened at the back. Ultra Titan asking over his team radio what happened. We didn't see it on the stream. We just saw a lot of arrows moving around. But so many cars losing positions there at the end. It'll be interesting to see what happened. Halo saying to his engineer that whatever incident happened there was not his fault, so perhaps the Red Bull driver involved in that one. But provisional results from that sprint race. Cookie picking up the fastest lap, I believe. Or did he not? It's not actually telling me. I don't think he did. I think we have a 123. Yeah, a 123.7 by Luxury to pick up the fastest lap. But it'll be Cookie who wins it. From JG, Centrix, Ultra Titan. And the rest of them. Cookie doing last to first in the sprint race there. A fantastic achievement by the Red Bull driver, just demonstrating his class this season. We'll try and give you a little live look at the standings if we possibly can. I'm not sure if they've updated just yet. So we'll try and work out for you. We do, of course, have the grid at the same time, though. So after winning that sprint race, Cookie will start from pole with JG alongside him in second. A fantastic gamble by the Mercedes in that sprint race to earn him P2. Centrix, after starting on pole, dropped back a little bit down into... Oh, we've got a few people leaving here. I think we might have a restart. Yes, we have a restart for this one, unfortunately, so I'm readying up early. But while we wait to be invited to the new lobby, we will just keep on running through those results. So Cookie with the win in the sprint race will line up on pole position here for the feature, with JG, the lead Mercedes, alongside him on the front row. After qualifying on pole, Centrix dropped back, unfortunately for him, to third out of the final corner. Such a dramatic finish between him and JG. He'll line up in third for this sprint race with Ultra Titan, alongside him on the second row. Then in fifth place, it'll be the second AlphaTauri and second reserve AlphaTauri for tonight of Payot's Kings, with Billy and Penguin in the Haas alongside on the third row. Then P7 and P8 was taken up by both of the Ferraris. It was Arrow in seventh, with his teammate Mallard in 8th, and then rounding out the point scores from that race, we had Cloud in the Aston Martin and Craig Conley in the McLaren. As for everyone else, Halo was 11th, Michael Louis 12th, Ollie 13th, Jamie Dwyer 14th. I don't remember who was 15th. I remember Cod was 16th. Oh, Luxury was 15th. Cod was 16th. And then we had a couple of DNFs elsewhere. And a little look at the live standings at the moment. And I believe that, well, I know that Centrix has now got ahead of Craig Conley. Craig picking up 1 point for the feature race there, taking him to 97. Centrix picking up 10 with the 2 points for the pole position and the 8 points for third place, takes him to 100. So still 3 points between them at the moment in this battle for 10th place. And we'll just take a few minutes to get the lobby set up. So go get yourself a drink or whatever. Get yourself some snacks. If you are new around here and you aren't already, make sure to follow the channel. This is the last race of the season, but you're more than welcome to join the Discord and get yourself involved for next season. I'm sure we'll have some events going on over the festive period. New season predicted to be starting around mid-January time. Not exactly sure on a date for certain yet, I believe, but it's meant to be around mid-January. Just working to get everyone else into the lobby. Now we're about to get underway once again. So strap yourselves in. 29 laps around the Yas Marina Island coming up next. Now we just wait for the grid once again. And here we go. 5 red lights here at Abu Dhabi. Lights out, and we're racing in the season finale of Season 1. We have Fun F1. Cookie leads through Turn 1. You can see a very varied mix of strategies going on here today. Further back we've got Pales Kings and Ultra Titan going side by side through the fast right-hander at Turn 3. And Pales Kings making his way up into, or back down into 5th place. We almost went 3 wide in the background there. Everyone's made it through cleanly by the looks of things. We are 1 driver down. I believe we've lost someone, not sure who. But here we go, everyone piling into Turn 6. In the background, we got moves going on. The Aston Martin of Michael Louis trying to make up places here on the hard tyres. Gets a good exit and gets himself out of the corner. We got contact in the background, and Williams is out with a Red Bull by the looks of it. yeah, there was contact there, and the Williams losing a wheel out of this session. And that is a virtual safety car. Halo making contact with the Williams. And I don't believe there's any damage to the Red Bull. There's no visible damage, certainly not on the front wing, but certainly there was damage to the Williams driver of Snowies. Unfortunately out of this session and ends the season not actually picking up any points. Virtual safety car is done with though, and we are back racing. Cookie leading Centrix by half a second. Both drivers on the sauce. In the background we've got Cloud, who spins it out the final corner. Gets it going again, but he's dropped all the way down to 15th place. Lost the rear end by the looks of it. And that's him dropping all the way back. F1 Mallard up into the lead. We've got a spin further back. Craig Conley's out. Craig Conley's out of this race. He lost the rear out of turn 1. We'll see if we can see it while running with Mallard. We've got another virtual safety car. Chaos at the start of this race. We got Snowies on the team radio saying that Halo put him in the wall. I don't believe, yeah, we can't see Craig Conley. You can see the skip marks briefly, but Craig Conley's car now being cleared away. Well, that's a really tough break there for the McLaren driver. He's going to finish this season on 96 points. His defence of that 10th place in the standings is over, and he has to hope that the drivers behind him now in the standings don't have good races. But the virtual safety car still out at the moment. Drivers have to be careful they don't pick up any drive-through penalties. You can see the tyres there. A great mix of them going 2 by 2 at the front of the pack, with 2 softs followed by 2 mediums followed by 2 hards. A big variation in the strategies being run today by the drivers. As we wait for the virtual safety car to end, we'll keep an eye out for any unfortunate drive-through penalties, and there's 2 of them. Michael Louis in 9th place and Halo in 14th, both of them picking up drive-through penalties, so going too fast under the VSC Delta, and they'll both have to serve drive-through penalties now, which they both come in immediately to do. A horrible start for the Aston Martins there, now all the way towards the back of the grid, and Halo retires in the pit lane. He's calling it a day here, and that will end his season as well on 84 points. Our 3rd retirement in this session, and we're only on lap 3. Reminder to all the drivers that you get points for the top 16, and those points could be crucial. But Halo saying on his saying over the team radio that he is didn't put a setup on. That's really unfortunate for him. Craig Conley saying he's a moron over the team radio. A bit of a Charles Leclerc moment from him as he puts it in the wall. Hopefully you can hear me in the stream, Craig. I can hear me from my end. But let me know if you still can't hear me. I'll tweak around the settings. They are as they should be, in theory. Yeah, they're what they normally are, so hopefully you should be able to hear me. But back with the race, Cookie running very wide there through turn 1. We won't want to see that too many times, otherwise there will probably be a steward's penalty coming his way. But out at the front we have a very clear pack in the lead at the moment. The 2 soft tyre runners of Cookie and Centrix leading the way, with JG holding on to the back of them, doing a very good job in the Mercedes on the slower compounder tyre to still be within 1 second of the AlphaTauri ahead of him. Further back we got a battle going on over 5th place. 3 cars almost side by side. We've got Arrow trying to go around the outside of the Alfa Romeo of Ultra Titan. He goes deep into the corner to try and force the Ferrari out of the move, and he does so and holds on to the position for the time being. But look how close Arrow is, right up the rear diffuser of the Alfa Romeo. He's going to pull out of the slipstream and try and go all the way around. We're going 3 wide. Arrow forcing Billy and Penguin off the track there. A little bit naughty from the Ferrari as the Haas tried to come alongside, just pushing him off the circuit. But Arrow, for the time being, gets the move done on Ultra Titan, gets himself up into 5th place with the Alfa Romeo behind him as they head under the hotel. The aptly named W Abu Dhabi Hotel, what used to be the Yas Viceroy. A very famous part of this circus. You see Arrow send it up the inside, very aggressive from the Ferrari driver, really try and make progress in this race. He's now going to come under pressure from the Haas through turn 1 as Billy and Penguin sends it up his inside, gets the move done, and that's the Haas driver up into 5th place. Very strong showing so far by Billy and Penguin, continuing to show what a strong driver he has been all season long as Arrow sends it back up his inside now, and Billy loses the 2 places yet again as Ultra Titan gets in on the mix as well. Back down the straight now. You can see on the timing screens that Centrix has now managed to gap JG a little bit, but these 3 still going hammer and tong for position here. Ultra Titan up the inside into turn 6, gets the move done and gets himself back up into 5th place, but this battle is long from finished as both of them have DRS behind him. All of this is allowing the Mercedes there as well of Ollie to catch up and try and get himself involved in the battle, as we see Billy and Penguin around the outside of Ultra Titan can't get the move done, and the Alfa Romeo holds on to the position for the time being, and now Ollie is well and truly in this battle. The second Mercedes making up places off the start and getting himself up into 8th place. So you can see there up 5 places from the Mercedes, and then we've got a few drivers up 4 places as well, making the most of the retirements and penalties early on in this race. But it's a 4-man train at the moment fighting for this 5th place, and Billy and Penguin is arguably the one in prime position to make the move. He's got the better tyres than the Alfa Romeo in front of him. Can he make it stick? Behind them we might see a move from Ollie heading down into turn 5. The hairpin at the reprofile turn 5 sends it up the inside, gets it done and gets past Arrow onto the back straight, but they are still side by side. Ollie's in fact going to box Arrow in a little bit here if they catch up to the back of the Haas, which they're not quite going to do, but into the braking zone you can see there Ollie makes the move stick, and now he looks to try and chase down the Haas of Billy and Penguin, who still can't get past the Alfa Romeo here. He has the DRS, Ultra Titan does not, and this time around he goes back to the outside. Billy and Penguin, brilliant camera angle here in the helicopter, but again Ultra Titan with some fantastic defensive driving here by the man currently sitting 4th in the drivers' standings. Brilliant job from him there, and he holds on to 5th place once more, and well, you can see how close they are as we go under the hotel yet again, out of turn 14 and back towards the line to start lap 7 here. Cookie currently leading the way, if we look further forward, leading the way by 3.8 seconds from Centrix in the AlphaTauri. I think Cookie, we won't be seeing much of him in this race at the moment, as he is just sprinting away at the front. Behind him, Centrix currently P2, but he still has JG on the mediums just behind him, and I expect that gap to start closing sooner rather than later as the softs start to go off. Behind him in a bit of no man's land is the second AlphaTauri, Payots Kings, another one of our reserves here tonight. He is currently sat in 4th place, but further back we're about to go 3 wide into turn 6 as Ollie sends it up the inside of Billy and Penguin. Has to cut the corner though, he outbrakes himself and has to cut across the inside like Lewis Hamilton did a couple of years ago. And that will drop him back down into P7. He loses the 2 places that he gained by attempting that move. And in fact, there's been contact! Oh, big contact! Ultra Titans round, Billy and Penguins round. There's damage on the 2 of them as well, I believe. And there was contact as... Oh, Ollie has lost a lot of front wing there. I think the initial contact was made between Billy and Penguin and Ultra Titan as 2 tried to go into 1, as they've done so many times so far in this race, but this time it just didn't work out. The 2 of them collided, and then that left Ollie nowhere to go. The unfortunate bystander there, it seemed from our point of view, and losing a whole chunk of front wing. As you can see, the safety car has been called out and everyone is into the pits here. Perfect timing for the soft runners who are able to pit and put on a fresh set of mediums to both Cookie and Centrix. A be surprised if the set of mediums can go to the end. I expect they're going to be doing a 2-stop here. But everyone making their stops, filing back out into the pit lane. And, well, you can see Billy and Penguin out in 5th place. He hasn't lost too much time there despite the incident. The big losers from that are Ultra Titan down in 12th place now on a fresh set of mediums. And also JG, sorry, not JG, Ollie, who lost out a lot in that incident. Almost everyone coming into the pits there. Cloud had already made his pit stop, I believe. He's out on a set of softs that have done 1 lap already. And there are only other 2 drivers that haven't pit. Mallard and Michael Louis opting to stay out. Both of them on sets of hards, which can go a much longer distance into this race. But this could potentially have been perfect timing for JG. He is on a set of the hard tyres, the white wall hardest compound, which means they are the slowest, but they do last the longest. And, well, we will have about 20 laps to go, I believe, when this safety car comes in. That's not out the realms of possibilities for the hard tyres, so that Mercedes driver may not need to pit again, especially if there is no other interference by the safety car. This is the 6th appearance that the safety car has made at Abu Dhabi. In real life, it's made 5 appearances in 2010, 2012, and then 3 times in 4 years, 2018, 2020 and 2021. All of those years the safety car was called out, some more controversial than others. As we see Michael Louis at the back of the grid making his first pit stop of the day, opting to get off the white wall hards. And he's going to be putting on a set of the medium tyres here. No damage on his car, just purely a tactical decision by the looks of it by the Aston Martin. And he'll come back out at the back of the grid, going out under the very unique pit exit here at Abu Dhabi, going under turn 1, coming out on the outside of turn 3. And he'll make his way, catch up to the back of the pack in 14th place. See here, Cookie messing around a bit with the safety car. Don't want to be doing that too much, otherwise he might make contact with it or overtake it, and we do not want the game to glitch, please, Cookie. I know it's a slow safety car, but just let it do its thing. Safety car now in this lap, so Cookie will set the pace of the pack as the safety car peels into the pit lane. It'll be Cookie who gets us underway. Will we have a clean restart here? We've certainly had a somewhat repeat of last night. If you tuned in, we saw Tier 2 race around here as well. I was involved in that race and it was certainly not the cleanest thing I've ever taken part in. And it seems we've had a somewhat repeat of that so far. Cookie setting the pace here. Out to the final corner, he'll hit the power and get the restart underway. He gets a decent launch as well, already 0.6 of a second ahead of Centrix as he heads through turn 1. Further back, we're going side by side as Cloud looking to make the move around the outside there of Arrow. Gets the move done, that's him up into 6th place on his soft tyres. And behind them you see a whole train of people here flooding through turns 3 and 4. Will we see a move here from the McLaren of Coddy? Thought about it. Instead we'll get a move from Ultra Titan, who's looking to get his race back on track on a set of mediums. Gets himself up into 10th place, but the move isn't done just yet. Further forward, have we got a bit of a battle here on over these podium positions? We do. We also have Codzilla thinking of a move on Arrow, opts out of it. Further back, Jamie Dwyer sends it up the inside of F1 Mallard. Bit of contact, doesn't get the move done, has to settle for 12th place for the time being. And this is the main battle at the moment. He gets the move done round the outside before the braking zone of turn 9 and gets himself up into 11th place. Jamie Dwyer on a fresh set of mediums now, looking to get himself forward if he can, but he's already about a second behind Ultra Titan, so he can certainly do with getting his foot down and getting back within the DRS. See Ollie there picking up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. And we'll keep on board at the moment with the Mercedes. He is the main man to watch at the moment in this little train forming behind Arrow over 7th place. You see, in fact, in front of them, Cloud making another move, goes down the inside of Billy and Penguin, really putting those soft tyres to use. And that's the Aston Martin up into 5th place now. DRS still yet to be enabled. That will be enabled at the start of the next lap. And Cloud will be looking to take full advantage of that as he has a little train ahead of him of Centrix, JG and Payox Kings. Automatic picks up a 3-second time penalty as well further back, as we're now looking at Ollie. He's thinking of a move up the inside of Godzilla into turn 9. It's such a popular overtaking opportunity there, and the Mercedes gets the move done on the exit, shuts the door, and that's Ollie up into 8th place. Is the move done yet though? Yes, just for the time being. Cod has to back out of that one. Centrix now also picking up a 3-second time penalty, but behind them you can see the Alfa Romeo of Ultra Titan here, 10th place, and looking to try and get himself past these two. DRS now enabled as we start lap 3. Over that, we've also got a bit of a train underway over 12th place. F1 Mallard on a set of hards that have done 10 laps here, coming under pressure from Michael Louis and Nutomatic. Can Michael Louis get the move done around the outside into turn 5? Not quite, but will he get a good exit onto this straight where the DRS will be active? He's also got a soft tyre runner of Nutomatic right behind him as we go back to the front of the grid here. And we look at the battle over second place in effect. Cloud has now joined onto the back of this pack. He's used a lot of battery to do so, but now he's within the DRS and on a fresher compounder tyre. I expect him to stick with them further back. Ultra Titan thinking of the move up the inside of Ollie, gets it done. Little bit of contact, I think. Sorry, it was up this inside of Cod. He got the move done, but I think he made a little bit of contact with the Mercedes and ended up having to back out of it. But brilliant driving there by Ultra Titan. Fantastic big piece of bravery to hang it around the outside of turns 10, 11 and then into 12. Gets the move done and gets himself back up into 9th place. You can see just how close these battles are up and down the grid at the moment. Cloud right on the back of Payox Kings in this battle for 4th place. And he's well within a second. Will he even think of a move before the DRS line? He does go for it. He'll still be within the DRS of JG anyway, but he makes the move stick, gets himself up into 4th place, and now has the DRS wide open down this first DRS straight. But the move isn't done just yet. Payox King's thinking of the move around the outside into turn 6. It's an unorthodox corner to make the move on, and he does have to back out. Will he be able to get a good exit though? Out of turn 7 onto the second DRS straight. That little flap in the rear wing opens to both drivers, and they power their way down towards the banked turn 9. Round the outside, Payox Kings tries to go, but that's not going to work against Ollie. He's on the better compounder tyre, better grip, and he's not been able to make that move stick. Has to settle for 5th place for the time being. Further behind, Ultra Titan's got the move done now on Ollie. Gets himself up into 8th place. The Alfa Romeo making good progress after being involved in that collision with Billy and Penguin and Ollie earlier on in the race. And he'll now look to try and chase down Billy and Penguin once more. It'll be the second time these two have battled in this race. In fact, the three that were involved in that incident run one behind the other now. As we start lap 14, almost at the halfway stage of this one. So many things still to play for in the driver's standings. This, of course, being the season finale of We Have Fun F1 Season 1 for Tier 1. And whilst our title may have already been wrapped up by Cookie a couple of weeks in advance, there are still battles up and down the grid for position that are very much reliant on today's results. Ride on board now with Cloud heading back down the run towards turn 9. DRS is open for him, but you can see he is very low on battery. Hardly any left, as you can see on his steering wheel there. And for the time being, he's going to have to hold it behind the Mercedes of JG, who is also having to hold it behind the AlphaTauri Eccentrics, as JG almost running into the back of the AlphaTauri there much later on the brakes from the Mercedes. Further back, Ultra Titan is past Billy and Penguin. I'm sorry, Ultra Titan, we keep on missing out on your overtakes here. But he's got past the Haas driver. He gets himself back up in second place. And now Arrow is the next man on his list. And we'll stick with this battle at the moment. A 5-man train here, all fighting over 6th place. And they run nose to tail as we go through turns 2 and 3, flat out through the left-hander, and then the same again through the right-hander as they come over the crest of the hill and then plunge down towards the turn 5 hairpin. Look how close Ultra Titan is getting to the back of that Ferrari. He's really thinking about this move further forward. We're still under pressure here for Cloud from Payots Kings. He won't be able to make the move this time around. Neither will Ollie on JG. Further back, there goes Ultra Titan up into 6th place. Gets the move done up the inside of Arrow. And he is into 6th. But Arrow getting a good exit there out of turn 7 onto the second DRS straight. He has his rear wing open as they come down this straight towards turn 9. The banked hairpin here. Can Arrow send it all the way around the outside of the Alfa Romeo? It's fantastic battling between these two, both incredibly consistent and clean drivers on the grid, going side by side all the way through. Still side by side here as we head through the hairpin. And the move gets made. We've got a spinner in the background. That's Billy and Penguin going round, who's made contact with one of the guys behind that battle. But for the time being, Ultra Titan gets the move done on Arrow, gets himself up into 6th place. And what a battle between those two, going side by side for what must have been 4 corners in a row. Fantastic work by the two of them there. Meanwhile, Cloud has dropped down into 5th place. The Aston Martin there being overtaken by Payots Kings as his soft tyres are surely starting to go off now. They've almost done a full sprint race distance on this compound. And I think Cloud just starting to suffer the effects of tyre wear as we see Centrix going up the inside of JG. He's going to try and hold it round, but has to back out eventually. And now the Mercedes go come under pressure from the second AlphaTauri. This is an awful camera angle for it there, but Payots Kings working well with his teammate, gets himself up into 3rd place. Is he thinking of a move on his teammate here? He is, and they collide! We've just praised them for such good teamwork, and Payots Kings got greedy, I think, more than anything. Either that, you couldn't quite see it from our camera angle, either he got greedy or his teammate shut the door a bit too aggressively. But either way, the AlphaTauris colliding there through turn 9, and, well, the team principal and the pit wall will be shaking their heads at that one. That's the first rule of motorsport. Don't collide with your teammate. And the AlphaTauri is breaking that rule there on lap 17. 12 laps to go here. Sorry, as we start lap 17. 12 laps to go. Are we going to see more pit stops is the question, as we've got virtual safety car. Michael Louis has gone round and lost all of his front wing on the exit of turn 14. He's done a Latifi. And now that will see the Aston Martin driver into the pit lane, also in the pits at the same time. Nutomatic, perfect timing for the virtual safety car here for the Haas driver. He was on 8-lap-old softs. And he'll come in now and probably strap on a set of the mediums. Indeed, he does. A nose change as well, as we saw a little bit of damage on the right end plate of his nose. Meanwhile, F1 Mallard has also come in to strap on a set of the mediums. That's his one planned pit stop for the day completed. And he'll get himself out in P12 in a lot of clean air to make the most of those soft tyres. Once again, we'll keep an eye on the penalties, see if anyone picks up a drive-through penalty. No, they don't. Much more well-behaved from everyone there as the virtual safety car ended. And we get back to green flag racing. See a huge train at the moment. We see there Cookie still in the lead, 7.5 seconds clear at the front, but Centrix here leading this little train for P2. Three drivers competing for, as we see Cloud pull into the pit lane. So now it is just a two-man train, a straight fight between Centrix and JG for the second and third positions. Aston Martin pulling into the pits. He's going to put on a fresh set of tyres. Is he going to go softs again, or is he going to go mediums? It is the medium tyre for the Aston Martin. And we'll see where this brings him out. Further back, we've also got Arrow into the pits, strapping on a fresh set of mediums as well. And now Cloud coming out of the pit lane. Will he be able to beat Jamie Dwyer back out onto the track? It's going to be close between the two of them if you look at the minimap. And now look at the camera. And Cloud just ahead of the Alpine, but now on cold tyres. He decides to back out of it. He would prefer the DRS. A bit of tactical play there from the Aston Martin. And immediately he gets the position back. Fantastic stuff by Cloud. Gets the DRS as well. Jamie Dwyer caught napping there. And the Aston Martin back up into 9th. But is he going to stay there? Jamie Dwyer with some fantastic straight line speed. Gets himself back up ahead. But Cloud later on the brakes gets the move done. Back up the inside. And the Aston Martin moves himself back into 9th place. 2.5 seconds behind Billion Penguin here. But the big question of the moment is, can the likes of Cookie, Centrix and the other guys on those 10-lap-old mediums, can they make them last to the end? We've got 10 laps to go here. It's a big ask for a set of mediums, but it is not impossible whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if Cookie did pit during this race, given the advantage he has in it. He's almost 20 seconds ahead, I believe. If you look at the gap to leader, yes, 17 seconds between the Red Bull and 4th place. So I would not be surprised if Cookie took the gamble. But further back, can Centrix really justify taking the gamble at this point? Because JG in particular is in pole position to take so many positions here. If they do come into the pits, he could be looking at himself in the lead of this race. Further back, we've got a battle going on as we've got yellow flags. I think that's Nutomatic, who may have made contact with the wall. Indeed he does. The Haas driver back into the pits. He's only just pit for the set of mediums, but on cold tyres he put the Haas into the wall. And that is him calling it a day as well. The damage is too much and he is out of this race. Further back, we've got Payot's Kings thinking of going around the outside of Ultra Titan. Can he make the move stick here at turn 5? He's going to go all the way around the outside, but eventually he'll run out of road. And Ultra Titan shuts the door. Another example of some brilliant defensive driving by the Alfa Romeo. He holds on to 4th place for the time being. We've also got... There we are. There's your answer of can the mediums last until the end of the race. It is a no. Centrix into the pits from 3rd place. As you see, Payot's Kings picking up a 3-second time penalty. We've also got Ultra Titan into the pits along with Payot's Kings. So I wonder if that penalty for Payot's was actually from the pit entrance, in which case it might be removed at the end of this race. But here, double stack by the AlphaTauri boys, and it's done to near perfection there as well. Brilliant job by the team, getting both drivers out on a fresh set of soft tyres. Ultra Titan opting for the mediums, interestingly. He perhaps doesn't trust the life of the soft tyres. And he will come back out on the track, going side by side as they come out of the pit exit, with Arrow side by side into the corner at turn 5. Ultra Titan gets P9. It's not with Arrow, sorry, it's with F1 Mallard. They're battling over 9th place. Two of them will go side by side down this long back straight between turns 5 and 6. And F1 Mallard with the DRS will get the move done. But can he get a good exit out of turn 7? Because Ultra Titan will have the second bite of the cherry with the DRS. We see, oh, big slide from the Ferrari. That's not the exit he needed. Here comes Ultra Titan with the DRS. Is he going to go to the inside or the outside? He goes to the inside. And he gets up into 9th place. You can see on the left hand side of your screen, Cookie is in the pits. Fresh set of softs going on his Red Bull. And now the question is, how quickly can he catch JG, who now finds himself in the lead of this race? What's the gap going to be when Cookie exits the pits? And actually, can JG's teammate Ollie perhaps get ahead of Cookie? It's going to be close, but I think, yeah, there goes the Red Bull, just ahead by about a second from the Mercedes. Not ideal for JG. It would have been very helpful if his teammate could have been in between the two of them, but not quite for him. A couple more pit stops being made. You see Codzilla and Billy and Penguin dropping down the order as they strap on fresh sets of softs as well. We have a three-man battle here going on between Ultra Titan, F1 Mallard and Payot's Kings. Are we going 2 or 3 wide? No one up the inside of Ultra Titan, but Payot's Kings is up the inside of F1 Mallard. Gets himself up into 8th place. The soft tyres doing their job brilliantly for the AlphaTauri, and now he's going to try and make the next move on Ultra Titan. There goes the AlphaTauri. They're almost going 3 wide into the corner. Some late moves into the braking zone there from Kings and Mallard alike. Kings holding on to 2nd place for the time being, but can F1 Mallard get the exit he needs, or is he going to come under more pressure, in fact, from Ultra Titan? I think it's going to be the Alfa Romeo who thinks of the move rather than the Ferrari, because Mallard has to settle for 8th place for the time being, and Ultra Titan having settled for 9th behind the Ferrari. See, watch the gap as we go along. We're on to lap 22 at the moment for our race leader JG, but watch that gap just behind him. Look at the camera angle as well. You just about see the Red Bull of Cookie coming through the background. 5.6 seconds with 7 laps to go. I think the Red Bull might just have it, unless his tyres really go off the edge. As you see further back there, Cloud getting the move done on Ollie on fresh mediums, gets himself up onto the podium. And Cloud pitting earlier than everyone else, got the undercut, and it has worked a treat for him as he moves his way into 3rd place. Further back, keep an eye on the progress of Centrix as well. We know what his pace was like on the soft tyres earlier on, certainly in qualifying, where he put it on pole. He dropped back a couple of places in the sprint race to 3rd place, and as it stands, he's dropping back a couple more to 5th in the feature, but he definitely has the pace on those tyres. He's closed up by almost a second on Ollie on this lap alone, so would not be surprised to see a bit of a battle going on soon there, as we see another battle going on. Ultra Titan desperately try to get past Mallard at the moment, but the Ferrari driver doing a fantastic job at defending 8th place. Further back, Billy and Penguin. Oh, we've got contact! Just as we change the camera to go and look at Billy and Penguin making the move on Jamie Dwyer, Ultra Titan and F1 Mallard come together at turn 12. Ultra Titan just outbraking himself, I believe, as he backed out of the overtake on F1 Mallard out of respect. He knew he made the mistake into that corner, backed out of it, and now they're down to 9th and 10th respectively. Meanwhile, look at these two battling, Jamie Dwyer and Billy and Penguin, both of them on fresh sets of soft tyres, both of them pushing until the end of the race, and Billy and Penguin in the Haas. He can feel a little bit hard done by in this race. He was having a really good race early on, fighting for the top 5. Now he finds himself down in 11th place. It's really unfortunate for the Haas driver. What looked like such a promising weekend for him has just unfortunately not materialised. And it's just been a bad weekend in general for Haas, as they are now, as you see, Ultra Titan making the move on F1 Mallard back up into P9. Oh, he hits the curb a little bit too much there. Gets a big snap of oversteer, rode the sausage curb a little more than he wanted to, and that certainly cost his exit. F1 Mallard will get the move done back into the inside, and meanwhile, for the lead of the race, he's caught quicker than any of us expected, really. Cookie and JG battling for P1 here. JG gets himself back up into the lead of the race after Cookie ran wide. And now these two battling into the DRS. They're playing a bit of DRS chicken here as JG gets, I believe, gets the DRS out of the corner. Indeed he does. The Mercedes opens the gap in his rear wing. He gets some extra speed down the straight, gets in the slipstream of the Red Bull, back up the inside. Does he know he backs out of it this time around? Maybe thinking of making the move into turn 9 instead, but he needs a good exit for that to happen, and he certainly hasn't had that. He's dropped a few tenths of a second on the exit, and the DRS isn't going to make any difference for him here. And the game of DRS chicken, I think it's safe to say Cookie wins that time around. Gets himself into P1, but a poor exit, it seems, there from Cookie. Seemingly going a lot slower, uncharacteristically slow from the Red Bull, so I'm not sure if he's just wanting a bit of a battle with JG here, or whether he's trying to back him up and maybe try and make sure that the Red Bulls beat the Mercedes in the Constructors' battles. That is one battle we haven't mentioned enough today, actually. Mercedes and Red Bull battling over P2 in the drivers' standings. At the start of the day, Red Bull were just 17 points ahead. Now, Cookie is doing all that he possibly can, but of course the second Red Bull of Halo out of this race, so it is all down to Cookie. Can he help Red Bull win the Constructors' standings, or will the Mercedes snatch it from them? You can see at the moment JG getting himself back up into first place. His teammate Ollie down in 5th at the moment, and in a fairly comfortable 5th place, it's fair to say. Centrix has made the move for P4. He's up there at the moment, as you see these two just going back and forth at the moment. I think there's some strategic play going on by the Red Bull here, trying to back him up. A bit of a Sergio Perez move, if you will. And just trying to get Cloud on the back of the Mercedes, trying to get him to overtake him for 2nd place, and then Cookie can try and run away at the front. And how does JG deal with this? It's perhaps not the most sportsmanlike conduct from Cookie, but it is very smart nonetheless. Doing what we saw Lewis Hamilton tried to do it to his teammate Nico Rosberg back in 2016 to stop him from winning the title. We saw Sergio Perez do it a couple of years ago against Lewis Hamilton to try and help his teammate Max Verstappen win the 2021 title. And some smart play from Cookie. He now accelerates away, going to try and break the 1 second window. And now he leaves the Mercedes of JG with Cloud right behind him. And I think this plan from Cookie has worked a treat here. Cloud up the inside of Ollie. Can he make the move stick? They're side by side as we go down the back straight. Literally level with one another. Cloud has the DRS though, and he's going to make the move stick. Who's going to be latest on the brakes into turn 6? Oh, there's contact between the two of them. JG was later on the brakes. Cloud making contact with one another. Out of this corner, it's going to be Cloud with the DRS again. They go side by side on the run down towards turn 9. And look who's closing up in the background. Centrix in the soft tyres is really catching now. 2.5 seconds the gap as Cloud goes all the way around the outside of JG. Gets himself up into 2nd place. And I think Cookie's plan here has worked a treat. He's already 4 seconds up the road. Cloud and JG battling hammer and tongue over this 2nd place. And now Centrix, look at him on board. You can see the battle raging on ahead of him. The AlphaTauri driver here could really play into Cookie's hands if he can get himself up ahead of the Mercedes as well. Back in front, they're going side by side towards turn 1. Cloud going defensive, having to take the inside line, keeps the position for now as we head through turn 2. Look at this though, Centrix within a second. Will he be able to make a move as we look ahead? You see, playing a bit of DRS chicken again. It's like watching Leclerc versus Verstappen at Saudi Arabia a year ago. And instead, this time it's between JG and Cloud. Cloud with the DRS gets himself back up into 2nd place. Centrix also with the DRS is closing and closing on this battle. And what was a two-man fight becomes a three-man fight as the number 98 AlphaTauri joins the battle. And you can see Cloud going one part of the track to the other. He's made his two moves. He now has to stay with the inside line. And he will defend the position for the time being. But behind him, Centrix up the inside. He's just got a wheel alongside the Mercedes. Can he make the move? No, he has to back out this time around. And the AlphaTauri staying in P4. But he is right on the back of the Mercedes now. JG on 19 lap old hards. They will be crying out at this stage of the race. Whereas Centrix on 7 lap old softs, much fresher, much quicker tyres. You can see just on the exit of the final corner how much more grip and traction Centrix has, and he's going to send it round the outside of both of them there. Cloud backing out, letting the AlphaTauri through, and Centrix up into second. Now Cloud and JG going side by side through turn 3 and 4 on the run down to turn 5. Who's going to get the move done? JG up the inside, sends it. Little bit of wheel banging between the two of them, but they're keeping it relatively clean. This is just allowing Centrix to run away from the two of them as he goes side by side. All three of them out of battery here. And Cloud having to duck out of the slipstream. JG has the better straight line speed and he gets the move done back up into third place for the time being. This is the main on-track battle at the moment. We also have Arrow and Payox Kings going side by side briefly there. Arrow with the DRS. We'll see what the Ferrari can do. The lead Ferrari in 7th place at the moment. And he is looking to defend his 6th place in the driver's standings tonight, Arrow. He's fighting Billy and Penguin for that position, and as it stands, he is going to hold on to that spot in the drivers' championship. And he having to stay behind the AlphaTauri for the time being. JG currently still in 3rd place. Cloud following on behind him will change from the tyres. You've seen what tyres everyone is on for a long time now. Let's have a look at the penalties. Lots of people with 3 seconds here. Centrix needs to break the 3-second window to JG on this final lap if he is to hold on to 2nd place. It's currently at 2.3 seconds. And while these two battle, it's just allowing Centrix to get further and further away here. Cloud back up the inside of JG, parks it on the apex. A little bit of contact between the two of them there, as I think JG was expecting Cloud to go a little bit deeper into the corner. And that has certainly hampered the Mercedes run out of turn 7 as they go down the sort of winding straight there through turn 8 and through to turn 9. Cloud holds on to the position. I think that might be game, set and match for this battle unless JG can absolutely send it somewhere here in the final sector. And there goes the main opportunity into turn 12. It's not going to be there. Meanwhile, out at the front, Cookie crosses the line for his 13th race win of the season. Behind him, Centrix will cross the line in P2, but will he hold on to that position as we look behind? Cloud out the final corner. He does hold on by 1.5 tenths of a second from Cloud, who finishes on the podium. JG in 4th, Ollie in 5th. Meanwhile, further back, Arrow holds on for 6th place ahead of Payox Kings, who gets a 3-second time penalty for his weaving across the line, which costs him, in fact, 7th place as Cod overtakes him for 7th. Behind them, Ultra Titan will cross the line in what I'm sure he'll be slightly disappointed with 9th place. Billy and Penguin in 10th. It'll be F1 Mallard in 11th, with Jamie Dwyer crossing the line in 12th. And then Michael Louis rounding out the grid, doing donuts for us. It is the last race of the season, and this is exactly what you like to see. Donuts from the Aston Martin. It may not have been the race that Michael Louis was hoping for, but he does cross the line eventually in P13. He'll pick up some points for his troubles to end the season on a relative high, which will allow him to overtake just Sander in the drivers' standings. He's got a few more donuts for us before we end out this race and close what has been a fantastic Tier 1 season, it's safe to say. While he does that, we're going to open up the party for everyone. We'll try and get as many of our drivers in here today. Across the line comes Michael Liu with a final pirouette, and that is Abu Dhabi. And I'm seeing on the team radio, JG really not happy with Cookie for obstructing him during that race. He perhaps didn't realise the tactics going on from Cookie there. Cookie just letting him know it's for the World Constructors Championship. We'll see as we go on if he has managed to win it. But there are your results for today. Cookie picking up his 13th race win of the season and getting himself fastest lap while he's at it to pick up the maximum points in the sprint race. Centrix in P2 picks up a nice haul of points for himself as well to round out what's been a very successful reserve stint from him. Cloud in P3 picks up 19 points for his troubles, with JG crossing the line in an unhappy 4th place. We'll see what that does for the constructors standings soon as his teammate Ollie gets P5. A very solid race from the Mercedes drivers yet again here tonight. It'll be Arrow in P6. He picks up 12 points for his troubles, with Codzilla in 7th. A decent outing there by the McLaren reserve. Payot's Kings, the second AlphaTauri, a bit of a disappointment from him there, dropping back a few places in that race. But a decent outing nonetheless. It'll be Ultra Titan in 9th, Billion Penguin in 10th, F1 Mallard in 11th, Jamie Dwyer 12th, and Michael Louis rounding off your finishers there today. We'll now look to try and get everyone we can in the lobby, or at least into the party. Let's get Titan in here, let's get JG in here. You are the first in. You're very speedy, Mr. Ultra Titan.
I did not finish ninth.
At least you won this race, mate. You won the race into the party. That's got to count for something.
Get good, Ollie. Fuck you.
We'll try and get Boss Cookie in if we can as well.
He's on PC though, isn't he? So
you
can join on PC.
Last week he was able. Yeah, last week he was able to join, so we'll try and get him in. There we go. We'll send him an invite. Who else have we got already in here? Try and get JG. While we're doing that, who has joined? We got Cloud in here. Cloud, we'll have a chat with you. 3rd place in the end. Pretty decent comeback, it's safe to say, after that sprint race. Just talk us through your race while we're waiting for everyone else to join.
I mean, it was just a fun race. I just did some stupid dives and ended up spinning out, so recovering off of that. But it was mostly about getting back to the top, or back in the train after the pit stops, and luckily after I pit, and then Cookie came out right behind Jason, or ahead of Ollie and behind Jason. Thankfully he held him up a bit, just a little bit, and I was able to catch up, and then I held him up. Centrix. So I had the pace, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. We saw the tactics from Boss Cookie there. He hasn't joined the party just yet. Hopefully he does before the end. But we saw his tactics doing a bit of a Perez, if you like, of backing the Mercedes into you to try and help himself in the constructors' standings. Do you feel like you would have caught him anyway, or was it a big help for Cookie to have done that?
Yeah, I was never gonna catch him. I don't think so. I was going like 2 or 3 seconds a lap faster, but he was like 8 seconds away. So I think if I did catch up to him, it would have gone down to who got DRS, and I had 0 ERS. so I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have without the ultimate defending of Cookie.
Yeah, I noticed during the race you used a lot of your battery early on, and Abu Dhabi certainly isn't the easiest one to save it on. We're still waiting for either of the top two to join the party, so while we wait for that, we'll chat to. Let's go with. You know what, Titan? You won the race into the party. Let's have
Yeah.
a chat with you. Maybe not your favourite race of the season, but
It's been
just
better.
just talk me through it a bit.
I mean, it's definitely been better, but it wasn't too bad. I had fun battling. That's all that really matters, and I still kept P4 in the championship. But yeah, that's really it. I spun, I spun Mallard, and that was quite rude of me, so I just let him back past. And that lost me and him both a lot of time. And yeah, it's not much else really. Sadly, not much to note.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, every overtake you made, we seem to miss it on the stream as well. Most
was
of
so
them were DRS
good!
ones.
Well,
We caught the back end of the spin with you and Billion, unfortunately, but we saw that one, but we also saw you being good sportsman as you always are and waiting up for him there. But yes, P4 in the driver's standings to you. You've held on to that well.
thank you.
And rounds off a pretty successful season for you, it's safe to say.
Definitely needs to be better next season though, especially after being runner-up in the last season of SSR. I've got the pace in some places to keep up with JG. I've just got to put it there.
Well, you say that, you are one of only, I think, 5 people that's won a race. Yeah, one of only 5 people that's won a race this season, so
But I've only
that's certainly
few
something to
votes.
note, especially when Cookies won 13 of them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you've certainly done yourself proud there, and I mean, I think the big disappointment from this race for most people is that Luxury, bless him, still didn't pick up that win.
For six second places, 5 third places for Luxury, and not a single win. It's just so unlucky.
I mean, amazing consistency from the lad, but just unfortunate he's not picked up that win this season. Who else we got in the party? You know what? We'll speak to 2 Ferrari. Actually, no, we'll speak to the Mercedes of Ollie first, because I think Arrow's busy sorting out the standings, I'm assuming. So, Ollie, your teammates not joined the party, but I'm sure you two will have been chatting during the race. Just give us a little talk through your guys' race tonight.
Was we? I was not aware of this.
Oh, I thought you two normally were in a party. That's my bad.
No, I have not. I didn't. I wasn't speaking to him. But I'm just kind of disappointed, really. I had
such
such a shit sprint. I don't know. I think it was Cloud actually. I think I hit his side pod going to turn 1 and just it spun me, and that was kind of it for the sprint. I couldn't do anything much else apart from just try my best, and yeah. And then the full race was somehow I got 5th. I don't even know how the fuck that happened. I started 13th, so I was just hoping for like a top 10. I wasn't expecting a top 5. But that was very much dependent on people just dying pretty much. Titan. But yeah, I'm happy with 5th to end off the season. I mean, I think I'm 5th in the standings as well, so I'll take it. Happily take it.
Yeah, 5th in the standings, and you know you've been a very consistent driver. Looking back at the results over this season, a lot of 4th and 5th places. You've certainly done yourself a decent season there. So
I'm just mad
certainly
that we didn't get the constructors in the end. It's hard to get a constructors when you got Cookie on the opposing team. I'll tell you that.
Has that been confirmed, or is it definitely gone to Red Bull?
On the Red Bull.
So Red Bull, your constructors champions in Tier 1, Season 1 then. I'll hand it over to you and Mallard, Arrow. Just talk us through your guys' races, and then Arrow, you can take us through the standings, because I don't think mine is updated, unfortunately.
Alright, Mallard, do you want to start? I mean, I don't know how much there's to talk about in my race. I drove into the back of Arrow in lap 1 and broke my front wing, and then was just kind of puttering around for the rest of the race. had some good battles with Titan until unfortunately he just tapped me. I
You
mean, he
just
waited
went
up
too
for
early.
me. Nah. Um, yeah, not too much to my race. It's good fun. I enjoyed the battle with Titan. We had some good side by side for
Oh yeah.
I think most of the second and third sector. So
Yeah, I
good
think
fun.
there's
I think
at one point that the
I f-
long left-hander were side by side through the entire thing, which was
Yeah.
quite a shock.
yeah, I think we caught that one on stream. I think. I know there was one part where there were two drivers that went side by side for about 4 or 5 corners
Probably
that
me
we
and
caught
Arrow.
on, and I believe that was a Ferrari involved in it. But
Invading
yeah,
Ultra.
solid race still. Was it you two?
Yeah.
Arrow, our standings all sorted?
Yeah,
Can you take
yeah.
us through 'em?
Well, Cookies won on 491 points, ahead of Luxury on 319 points, so a humongous margin. Meanwhile, Luxury finishes 19 points ahead of JG, and that is your top three. The Constructors is separated by 24 points. Mercedes just finishing behind. Meanwhile, Williams finish a point ahead of Alfa Romeo, so that was very close.
Oof.
Meanwhile, I got P6 in the championship, which is what I was aiming for. Because Bellion and Cloud could have overtaken me on the last day. Meanwhile, P2 in Tier 2 was Centrix, and he ended up finishing P10 in Tier 1. So Centrix reserving for the majority of the season still got a lot of good points. And I think that's all that's really notable in the standings for now.
Yeah, I'm just looking at them. I think they've just updated for me, and they're all the same. Yeah, I think the one battle that ended up being a bit of an anticlimax was the one for 10th in the end, because Centrix, with his strong performance that he had, got it pretty hands down and almost beat yourself there, my lord, in the end. Only 7 points off, but Craig, unfortunately, just not able to defend his position after finding the wall early on. But that'll bring to close Season 1 of Tier 1 of We Have Fun. I'm not sure if there's a confirmed date yet, Arrow, of when Season 2 will start.
Well, it'll just be like late January, I assume, at the moment. So
So that's what...
everyone has over a month off. You can enjoy your Christmas
Yes.
and your New Year's, and you don't have to think about sweating on TT until January.
And then we'll be back in January with Season 2 with 2 tiers yet again. No confirmed times yet, but make sure to join the Discord if you are new around here. Make sure to follow the Twitch as well, keep up to date with everything. We're hoping to have a bit of an upgrade as well with the sort of YouTube content, TikTok content, etc. And yeah, for the time being, have a good Christmas, everyone. We will now all ignore each other for about a month and forget who each other is. And we'll catch you back here in just over a month. Arrow, if you are find someone, we will go and raid.
Yep.
And then we will end the stream for tonight. If anyone has any final words that aren't going to get us kicked off the platform, you're
Oh,
more than welcome to say it.
fuck. No, I have nothing.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Alright.
Have a good
Okay.
one. Thank you all.
We're
And
going to raid
Oh.
Dylan Warren 66. And make sure to go and give him a follow. And we'll catch you in 2024 for Season 2 of We Have Fun F1. Goodbye.